Good day, everyone. So, English expressions. They can be confusing at first. What do you think? Yes, no, maybe. But these confusing English expressions, each one has a unique story behind it. And I'm going to share some of those today. In this list, we're going to explore 10 surprising English expressions, reveal their meanings, and then uncover how they came to be, how they originated. So I think this is going to be fun and it's going to be interesting because you hear us as native English speakers use them a lot, right? A couple of them you might know, but we use them a lot, both socially and in business. So now you're going to understand not only when to use them and how to use them, but where they came from. So it's a little bit of a detective mystery. All right, get your pad, get your pencil, and now let's get down to business. The first one is bite the bullet. When someone tells you to bite the bullet, they're suggesting you face a difficult or unpleasant situation with courage. You be brave. This phrase dates back to the days before modern anesthesia. So all of us are nice and comfortable. We go in for surgery or we have some kind of procedure. They give us something to numb the pain or to put us out, and we wake up and it's all over. Not that way throughout history, right? So this phrase comes back to the days before modern anesthesia. Surgeons gave patients a bullet to bite on during operations to help them cope with the pain. Over time, this practice turned into this idiom that we use today. We still use it. Right? It's a bright, shining, vivid reminder of how language can evolve from real life experience, even painful real life experiences. So that's bite the bullet. Next, we have kick the bucket. Now, this might sound like an odd way to talk about death, but it comes from a little bit of a dark piece of farming history. And long ago, when farmers slaughtered, that's the word we use, slaughtered. They didn't transform. They slaughtered livestock. Right? The animals would sometimes kick a bucket that was placed underneath them. The phrase eventually became a casual but morbid, right? Means associated with death, morbid way of saying someone has died, right? So we don't use it for animals anymore. We use it for ourselves now. And despite its grim origin, it's now a very common idiom that you will hear in everyday conversations. The whole 9 yards. So if someone says to you the whole 9 yards, it means they give their absolute best or go to the fullest extent. The strange thing is, no one knows exactly where this phrase began. Right? And some people think it relates to the length of ammunition belts used by fighter pilots in World War II. Others believe it refers to the fabric measurements for making a high quality suit. I think it relates to the American football because it's 10 yards to score, right? But anyway, regardless of its mysterious beginnings, this expression has been part of American English since at least the mid 20th century. And it shows how language can keep a bit of mystery alive. Now, if you're enjoying this content so far, please give us a like and share a comment. We'd love to hear from you. It helps us help you. So that's the whole 9 yards. Next, break the ice. Now, if you have ever been in an awkward situation where you need something to break the ice, now this phrase originally referred to ships navigating through frozen waters in the 17th century when a vessel managed to break the ice. It could move forward, just like people can move forward in conversation once someone speaks up and dissolves the tension. Over time, break the ice came to represent overcoming social awkwardness, making it easier for everyone to relax and better connect. Break the ice. Next, we have let the cat out of the bag. So when you let the cat out of the bag, you reveal a secret, often by accident. This saying dates back to a sneaky trick at old marketplaces where dishonest sellers tried to pass off a cat as a pig hidden in a sack. Once the cat was out, the scam was obvious. Uh, Today, this expression simply means spilling the beans or telling something that is secret or letting a surprise slip before the right time. You're telling your friend or your family member about the surprise party for them, and then you remember you're not supposed to tell them. You let the cat out the bag. Next, we have cost an arm and a leg. Now, this means if something costs an arm and a leg, it is extremely expensive. Legend has it that this phrase might be connected to Renaissance art, or as some Americans might pronounce it, Renaissance. Now, some people believe artists charge more if the paintings show detailed limbs, making the final price skyrocket. Whether or not that's the exact truth, the expression stuck around and now describes anything with a shockingly high price tag. Cost an arm and a leg. Under the weather. Feeling under the weather means you're feeling sick or not at your best. This phrase likely comes from sailors who felt ill during rough storms at sea. Personally, I can identify with that. I've been in a couple of rough patches on the ocean. The combination of harsh weather and choppy waters made them miserable. So they were described as being under the weather. Eventually, the phrase found its way into everyday speech to describe anyone who's not feeling well. That was under the weather. Now we come to saved by the bell. When someone is saved by the bell, they escape from a tough situation at the very last moment. One theory connects this phrase to boxing. If a boxer was close to losing, but the round ended, the bell literally saved them. Another story claims it began in graveyards or cemeteries, if you're not familiar with the term graveyard, where bells were attached to coffins in case someone was buried alive by mistake and needed to ring for help. No matter which version you prefer, saved by the bell has come to mean a sudden, last-minute rescue. Raining cats and dogs. If you look outside during a strong storm, strong rainstorm, or as we might say, fierce downpour, and say it's raining cats and dogs, you mean it's raining extremely heavily. Now, the origin of this phrase is still debated. One idea suggests that in Old England, heavy rains could wash dead animals into the streets, making it seem like cats and dogs had fallen from the sky. Another theory is tied to Norse mythology, or from what we would call Scandinavia, right? Sweden, Norway, Denmark, etc., in which cats and dogs symbolize storms. Today, raining cats and dogs simply describes a serious rainstorm, serious downpour that's very strong. Beat around the bush. So when people beat around the bush, they avoid getting to the main point of a conversation, often because it's uncomfortable or embarrassing. I think we've all experienced this. This phrase is believed to come from hunting traditions in medieval times. Hunters would hire people to beat the bushes around a wooded area to stir up birds instead of going directly after the prey. Over time, this literal action transformed into a metaphor for avoiding a direct approach or not speaking plainly. They say you're beating around the bush. So now, these 10 expressions may seem ordinary now, but each one has an origin, right, that reflects a piece of history, living history, and sometimes strange, sometimes morbid, sometimes weird, but always fascinating, at least to me and hopefully to you as well. Next time you break the ice or feel under the weather, think about this lesson. And remember, these phrases carry stories from centuries ago. And which expression surprised you the most? Share in the comments. Share your thoughts. Keep exploring the world of English for more fun, twists, turns, and surprises in the language that we use every day. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. And we will see you next time as we continue our linguistic adventure together. Take care, everyone.